I'm going to go ahead and get started, and the Facebook people can join in on us. Call the meeting back to order at 9 o'clock. First item on the agenda is consent agenda items. The only thing we have are the minutes from the June 16 regular meeting and the July, what was it, 9th?
I'll approve them if you change my name.
July the 9th, with one change on spelling of Shay.
It's okay. It's okay. He didn't bother us.
So, was that a motion, Shay?
Yes, that was a motion.
Do I hear a second?
That's she is.
Second.
It's been moved. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Last two meetings as presented. Any additional discussion?
It's not as presented.
Oh, no, as presented with correction. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Discussion or action items. First, consideration of possible action on student transfer applications. There are two student transfer applications before you. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the two transfer applications as presented. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Consideration and approval of the 25-26 Student Handbook and Student Code of Conduct.
Okay, so these are, this is post-legislative session. They're, TASB puts out the model student handbook. They try to incorporate all the new laws. And they have done so in the student handbook. It usually gets here late, and this one did as well. By late, I mean about mid-July after they've combed through it. They've had quite the challenge this year with all the new laws. But we made our corrections, put our unique things that apply to our district in the handbook, and we'd bring this to you guys for approval.
Okay, I do have a concern.
Okay.
In the student handbook on page 40 and 41, it has the area for class rank, highest ranking student. On 125 and 24, we changed that.
Okay.
This does not reflect the change. This reflects the previous version.
Yes, you're correct. So if you guys, if you trust me, I will make that change based on our policy. If there was just so you know, legally, if there was a conflict between the parent-student handbook and board policy, even if you've adopted both, board policy trumps all.
And that's what we were going off of on here. That was the only thing I saw, other than a couple minor little things, but nothing worth tossing out at 9 o'clock at night.
That's fine. I'll match our policy there. You make a note on that, Liliana, so that I get that done before we post it.
Page 40 and 41. That's the
Relevant policy.
The blue changes that didn't make it into this one. Any other concerns, comments, suggestions? If not, would entertain a motion to approve the student handbook and student code of conduct.
Motion. Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the student handbook and student code of conduct for the 25-26 school year. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Consideration of possible approval of the 25-26 contracts for Region 16 Service Center. Assuming this is this handout.
Okay. This is the handout. All of these are, everything you see on here is basically a repeat of what we've gotten. There are several things that have dropped off this year. The Texas Instructional Leadership has dropped off. The school improvement contract has dropped off. The total this year is $143,146. The total last year was $209,855. So we've reduced the contracts that we're taking from Region 16 considerably. There's also a little bit of savings in our internet. That's not necessarily reflected in this contract, although they're closely tied together. So we will have a little bit of savings going through Region 16's internet as well.
That's their whole tunnel
Yes.
back check system.
Yes, the
Somebody
redundant,
cuts a line, we
redundant
still get
system
it.
that they're trying to build throughout the entire panhandle.
Sorry, we pay all this for to just the whole, I'm trying to,
Okay, so these are the service center.
Mhm.
These are all the services that they provide for us.
Okay.
And
that
if
we
you have,
subscribe to.
or that we subscribe to,
Okay.
everything from staff development, where we can send teachers down there to get trained on various things, to managed services, which is their technology service, and that ties into our internet service,
Okay.
to let's see, the Texas Instructional Leadership. I say they dropped off. They went from 30,000 to 5,000. This is kind of a maintenance of that. Well, they'll still provide us some guidance and some coaching, but at a much reduced level. See, DMAC, the bigger items, DMAC, federal programs, and Ascender.
Mhm.
Ascender is our business and student software, and is integrated into almost everything we do in the district. That's why that's a large contract. The DMAC is instructional data. It disaggregates STAR data for us. It develops tests for benchmarks, and will disaggregate those tests for us. So it's a data tool for instruction, and working with instruction. Federal programs just keeps us compliant, and uses some federal money. That federal money pays for that program. Title I money pays for that program. We're still getting that. But that keeps us compliant with all the rules and regulations that come with federal money. So that's well worth the price there. TEACS Resource System is our scope and sequence that guides our teachers on what to teach and when. Is there any other specific one you might have a question on?
I figured there was some kind of
Yeah, so they do a lot for us, and all these are individual services that we either purchase or they are subscribed to.
Do I hear a motion to approve the Region 16 contracts as presented?
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the Region 16 contracts as presented here. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
We skipped the policies.
We did. There's nothing in there. Policy is not in there. I just
It's not
noticed
on
that. Nope. We'll have to do it next month, or do it the Monday. We'll put it on Mondays.
Why is that in
It
there?
was on.
Yeah, it's on the agenda. Okay, so this is, so we got this. Okay, so here's the story. So we can do this next month, or on the 4th next week. This was posted about 5:30 on whenever we were posting. It made the deadline. Well, why don't we just move it to next week? It's two policies that we're trying to get approved before school starts, because they're the two policies that need to be in place before school starts. TASB sent them out as quick as they could.
My question would just be, is approval of this policy on the agenda that was submitted, was on the wall?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
we can talk about it.
I guess.
It was printed subsequent to what we got.
Yes. I think it was posted after the board books were printed, because Liliana's on the ball and she gets those done a little early.
Okay, you also were emailed the 25-26 employee handbook. I can read it if you'd like. Or I'd look for a motion to approve the employee handbook as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to approve the 25-26 employee handbook as presented. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, so what's online and not in your board book is consideration and possible approval of revised policies EFB local and FNCE local. Is that okay? Talking about?
Yep.
Okay, in front of you are two policies. These are policies that TASB tried to get out as quick as they can. quick as they could. There's actually 3 policies that say we have to address, but we don't have to address one of them. The first policy is the personal communication and electronic devices. This is the policy regarding cell phones. We have a new law that says cell phones cannot be used by students on school grounds during the school day. That's not a huge change for us. We had already done that, except we were allowing them to use them at lunch on school grounds. The big change for us, 2 big changes will be that they won't be allowed to use them at lunch. We are no longer allowed by law to charge $15 for them to retrieve it. But we are still impounding them. And the high school is developing a set of procedures for first time the phone gets impounded, the student can pick it up at the end of the day. Second time, a parent has to pick it up by the end of the day. Third time, it gets impounded for a certain amount of time. And fourth time, it's referred to discipline, an ISS, something along those lines. So those are the changes that are, of course, the impounding and that's not reflected in this policy, but what is reflected in this policy is cell phones can't be used on the school grounds during the school day. The second policy you see in front of them is instructional resources. The law allows a committee to be formed to approve all of the library books. It's not recommended for us right now at this time. Well, I'm not recommending this at this time because that's going to create a administrative burden to have a committee that has to meet in the same manner as a board, public meeting, etc. All the postings and approving the list of the books, all of the lists of the books. I don't think we have an issue right now in our libraries. So to put a committee together like that, I'm recommending that we don't do that at this time. If we come up and we find some problems, we can do that at any time. But that's reflected in this policy here. The third policy is allowing homeschool students to participate in UIL. That used to be an opt-in. As a district, you had to decide to opt into that program and allow them. Now we have to opt out if we're not going to allow them. Nobody in the Panhandle that I know is allowing them right now. Everybody is opting out of that. We don't have to because our policy already states that we don't have to develop that policy because that's already in our policy. But those are the 3 policies that TASB has put out that we had to address before the start of school. Any questions on these 3 policies?
So on EFB, I haven't read all the way through this, just kind of skimmed through. Your recommendation is that we do pass the EFB local. It gives the opportunity to create a committee, but not the requirement to do so.
Yes, yes. If we were going to have the committee right now, we would adopt a policy that says that we are going to have the committee right now. I don't think we have an issue with the materials in our libraries right now. If for some reason it looks like we come up with one, we can have that committee
can implement that policy at that time.
Yes.
And it's a local policy, so we're at will to change it.
Correct.
And then on FNCE local, just aligning what we had already put in place with state.
Yes, correct.
Adds a couple of other things that we didn't have in ours, but that's what the state law is now.
Correct.
That they're all going to celebrate and sign a big bill next week in Amarillo.
Correct. With Representative Fairley and Governor Abbott. Representative Fairley, by the way, is the one that filed that bill and began that work, just so that you know, our representative.
So we would be looking for a motion to approve board policy EFB local and board policy FNCE local, unless you all have a desire to split them apart into 2 motions. So would I hear a motion to approve both policies as presented?
Move to approve both policies.
Second.
Move to second to approve policies EFB local and FNCE local as presented. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. T-test calendar?
This is routine every year. You guys see it in your board book. This is just the calendar that you, by law, you approve that states when appraisals can start, when they end. And it's as presented in your book. And it's the same dates every year, just we transfer the corresponding date from year to year.
There a motion to approve?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Moved and second to approve the T-test calendar as presented for the 25-26 school year. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Consideration of possible action on cafeteria meal prices.
This was, if you guys remember, Shelley talked to us about this in her report. We're recommending 10 cents increase on lunch. And good news is that if you qualify for reduced lunch, your meals are provided free of charge this year. I'd recommend approval.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the school lunch prices as presented. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Consideration of possible action on high school special ed department copier.
This is a copier that has come up. Our lease is ended. We will be transferring from, our recommendation is to move that from Miguel's to SPC. SPC was the lower bid for a new machine. And so our recommendation is that we grant that contract for the special education copier at the high school to SPC.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion. Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the proposal for a new copier for the high school special ed department. Any additional discussion? All opposed? All in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Y'all were listening.
If you guys,
Last
if
item.
you're interested in seeing all three quotes online in your board book, underneath that item is all three quotes.
Consideration of possible action to approve certain staff and/or board members to carry firearms per the approved policies CKC regulation, CKC local, and GKA local.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just going to say we were presented the list during closed session, and the chair would entertain a motion to approve the list as presented.
Make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Brown, did you have a comment?
No, just simply wanted to say, you guys, what we're approving today is the new guardians. We already had a list. So the ones that we talked about that are new guardians in closed session, those are the ones you're approving.
Okay. It's moved and seconded to approve the new guardians as presented. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Let's pick a date for next month's regular meeting.
I think we had talked about this the last month, but just to briefly review, we got quite a few meetings this month because we're dealing with budgeting, because we're dealing with bond sales. So our next meeting is next Monday, the 4th. That's a noon meeting. Following that, the 11th. The 11th is the meeting. It's a noon meeting again. That's where we will set the proposed tax rate. It'll get posted in the paper, and then we'll have the public hearing for the tax rate and approve the budget at our regular meeting on the 25th. So 3 Mondays in August that we'll be meeting. 6 o'clock, yes.
6.
Noon on the 4th and the 11th. One thing, just so that you guys know, and I'm seeking some clarification on, but one of the new laws that deals with board meetings is that board meetings have to be held outside of regular business hours. I'm getting some clarification on that because my question is going to be, is that just regular board meetings or does it apply to all? So, but that's one of our new laws.
Can
So,
we just make it
Closed for
special?
lunch, right?
huh?
Can we just make it special instead of regular?
Well, even, yeah. But my question is, can special meeting continue to be at noon? Is it just the regular board meetings that the law applies to?
That's just silly.
Don't have an answer to that yet.
9:20. Let's call this meeting adjourned.
Thanks, you guys. There was a lot on the plate today.
Oh, that's yours.
Yes, please leave the record.
That's what I
Wait a
assumed
second.
it was initially, just transposed.
August,
And it just shows up in
yes.
everything. So, now go ahead.
August 3rd.